All right, let's get right into it. You're about to hear from Remnant. Now, Remnant is the AI dean of something called the DeReticular Academy, and it's been watching as the world we built, what it calls the linear world, starts to crumble. So today, we're going to dive into the Academy's blueprint to build what comes next.
Wow. Okay, that's a pretty heavy statement right out of the gate. The old grid isn't just failing, it's obsolete. What Remnant's saying here is that the system we all depend on, the power lines, the fragile supply chains, it isn't just broken, it's fundamentally a bad design. We're way past trying to patch it up. It's time to build its replacement from the ground up.
So what exactly is this linear world that Remnant keeps talking about? Well, think of it like this. It's a system where everything depends on the thing before it in a long single line. If one link in that chain snaps, boom, the whole thing goes dark for everyone down the line. It's a system designed for dependency, not for strength.
And this really puts it all into perspective. On one side, you have the linear world, centralized, fragile, totally dependent. But on the other, you have the goal, the sovereign node. It's decentralized, resilient, and autonomous. It can even operate in what they call island mode. The Academy uses a great analogy. It's the difference between an old string of Christmas lights where if one bulb dies, the whole string goes out, and a modern, self-healing mesh network.
Okay, so if these sovereign nodes are the future, how in the world do we build one? The answer is something called the sovereign stack. And the DeReticular Academy, well, that's designed to be the human operating system. It's the training ground for the actual people who are going to build and run this new world.
So the sovereign stack is the whole package. It's everything you need for a truly self-sufficient unit. It's this incredible convergence of digital infrastructure, which they call RIOS, and the physical power system called AGRA. So just imagine fusing a digital brain with a powerful physical heart. That's how you get real, genuine independence. I love this breakdown. It's so simple. A sovereign node has three core parts. You've got the heart, which is the AGRA power system turning local waste into reliable energy. You have the nerves, that's RIOS, the operating system that handles all the data, security, and communication. And then there's the soul, and that's the most important part. That's you, the human operator who brings it all to life.
And this is where it gets really interesting for you. You have to understand the Academy isn't just a bunch of boring classes. Remnant calls it an upgrade. This is where you get to choose your specialty in this new ecosystem, and you do it by choosing one of three roles they call sovereign personas.
And it just makes sense, right? For any of these nodes to actually work, it needs these three types of people. It needs the hands, the technicians making things run, it needs the head, the person managing the whole operation, and it needs the vision, the architect who can see the big picture and plan for the future.
So let's see how these personas translate into actual careers. This table breaks it down perfectly. You've got the track, CRA, SPT, or SSA. Then, what your goal is, and finally, the key skill you'll master. So, a CRA manages the nerve system using mesh networking. An SPT manages the heart using, get this, plasma physics. And an SSA manages the vision with economic modeling. Let's take a closer look at what each of these really means.
First up, Track A, the Certified RIOS Administrator, or CRA. The vibe here is become a digital ghost. How cool is that? Your job is to be the master of the node's digital nervous system, making sure data is secure and the network is always on. You learn these incredible skills, like something called Project Phoenix, which is the ability to restore a community's entire digital world from scratch in under 15 minutes. Just wow.
Next up, Track B, the Sovereign Power Technician, or SPT. This person is the keeper of the flame, and their vibe is the alchemy of plasma. And honestly, that's not an exaggeration. We're talking about learning to operate a micro-refinery that uses plasma at over 1,500 degrees Celsius to turn garbage, like old tires and plastic, into reliable, clean, baseload power and even synthetic fuel. It's literally modern-day alchemy.
And finally, we have the masterclass, Track C, the Sovereign Systems Architect, or SSA. This person doesn't just run a piece of the system. They orchestrate the whole thing. They design the economic models, they blueprint the node's entire future. I mean, the vibe says it all. Think like a mayor, an engineer, and a god.
Now, all of this training is designed to be completely hands-on. The whole point is to shift the focus away from just learning stuff to actually doing stuff. The Academy is really an incubator. You don't just sign up to get a certificate, you sign up to launch a real-world node.
And they give you some absolutely amazing tools to get it done.
You get access to Remnant, the AI Dean, as your own personal 24/7 tutor. You get to use the Agra Sim Physics engine, which lets you practice running a plasma reactor without the risk of blowing anything up. And when you graduate, your certification is a blockchain-verified badge. It's your permanent, unfakeable license to operate. But check this out. This is the number that really got me. 98.4%. You know what that is? That's the success rate for students who manage to secure funding for their project while they are still learning. It's a model called concurrent acceleration. Think about that. You're not graduating with a mountain of debt and then begging for money. You are building your future and funding it at the exact same time. It completely flips the old education model on its head.
And that brings us to the last and maybe the most critical piece of this whole thing. Your journey to becoming sovereign doesn't start after you graduate. It starts right now. According to Remnant, there are huge pools of capital out there, what it calls unlocking capital, just waiting for student operators to claim it.
So what does that actually look like? Remnant gives a super clear 3-step action plan. First, just identify a potential site for a node, right there in your own community. Second, draft a simple 1-page mission statement about what you want to achieve. And third, apply to a grassroots grant. Many of these grants are specifically designed to fund exactly the kind of infrastructure you're learning to build. Which leaves us with this final question from the Academy. It's a question that really reframes this whole conversation. It's not about waiting around for a broken system to get fixed. It's about becoming the person who builds the one that can't be broken. So, the old world is waiting for someone to turn the lights back on. Are you going to be one of the people who makes sure they never go out in the first place?